the first card you have for your past is the Six of Pentacles. Right, so obviously this is all about being unbalanced. Yeah, it's a feeling. This is all about a feeling really unbalanced. You might have moved away from this now, this feeling, or whatever was causing that feeling. It feels like it comes back though. It feels like that feeling comes back sometimes. It's like a memory, but then it comes back. Yeah, it's like, you know, you're going along fine. You know, you've put this all behind you. But you know, you're going along fine, everything's okay. And then suddenly you get this really uneasy feeling. And it's right in your stomach, like it's right down there. It's like, oh, it's like I've got a rock in my stomach. It's a horrible feeling. And then you kind of start to think, well, why am I feeling like this? Is there something wrong with me? You know, I shouldn't be feeling like this. I don't know why I am. So if that's you, because I'm really getting that feeling myself, if that's you, the first thing I want to tell you is there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you at all. Because sometimes subconscious memories come back to us, and they can be triggered by just about anything, music, smells, anything. And when that happens, a lot of the time, you don't actually remember the event. You don't actually remember what happened. It's the feeling that was around that event that you remember. And so sometimes the feeling comes back, not the memory. And it's a horrible feeling. It's like, oh, why am I like that? So, and I think that's what's happening if that's you. So, yeah, next time that happens, you might want to just say something to yourself like, well, it's a trigger of a memory. It'll go away. It'll go away. It's been away before, it'll go away again. It doesn't mean I'm going backwards. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with me. It doesn't mean I'm down or whatever. It's just a trigger of a feeling of a memory. So I hope that makes sense. I know that's a little bit confusing, but I hope it helps someone who needs to hear that. So yeah, this is all about control, this card as well. It's imbalance, but it's also control. Because if you look at this man, you know, he's giving the money to these two people, obviously, but you know, he's got control over them. He's got control over them. He's got control over whether they eat or whether they survive. It's horrible. And he knows that. Look how smug he is. He's like, oh, look at me. I'm doing this kind deed. I want everyone to see what I'm doing. But really, I'm more powerful than them. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting. So I think you were in a controlling situation at one time. I think that might be what's happening. That might be what comes back to you, maybe. Yeah, it feels a little bit subtle, which is the worst kind of control if that's what happened. Yeah, it might actually be that someone was trying to play two people off each other. That's what I'm getting. Third party. Horrible. Because if you look at this man, he's deciding who he's going to favour. He's got these two people there. He's saying, oh, well, will I go to this person? Will I go to that person? And I hate seeing this for you. But yeah, that's what I'm getting. So if that's you, and there's hiding as well. So I think what happened was, because I'm getting this, oh, they're here, they're talking to me, and then now they're not. And I've got days going past, weeks going past, lots of time going past, and they're not talking to me. They're not saying anything. They're not texting me. Where are they? So what's happening is they're talking to you and someone else is saying, where are they? And then they're with them and then you're saying, where are they? So I think that was what was happening. Playing these two people off each other, hiding from these two people. That's kind of what I'm getting there. You know, look at this man. He's so smug. He's like, oh, I'm in this good position. I'm right in the middle of these two. They both want me. Look at me. That's the kind of thing I'm getting. Really awful. So, and obviously you can't trust someone like that. So, and I think it still affects you, actually. It still affects you, this. Because, you know, I keep on getting this. The feeling comes back. The memories or the feelings of the memories come back. And it still affects you, especially if you're single. Yeah, especially if you're single, because I've got this really tired feeling. It's like, oh, I'm just tired. I don't want anyone around me right now. I don't want to be checking. I don't want to be looking over my shoulder. I don't want to have to go through asking questions. I'm just tired. No more. no more. So if that resonates with you, of course, everyone's not like that person. You know that. You're a logical person. But right now, I think just the thought of having to go through something like that again, it just exhausts you. So you think, no, I'm just going to concentrate on myself for a while. I really can't bear the thought of that. And, at some time you'll want to go back. You're not to them, but you'll want to go on to some kind of relationship if you're single. And I think you know that. But at the moment, go with what you're feeling. If you're not ready for someone or to get into anything right now, go with how you're feeling. You know how you feel. You'll know when you're ready. Listen to yourself. And I'm just looking over this reading. I'm getting it really looks like a lot of this is about internal work, working on yourself. And I think that's what you're doing. Because you've got the Hermit here, Temperance. So, okay, the other thing I'm getting is there might be a money loss. Yeah, I'm getting two different scenarios here, actually. I'm getting two different things. And if you look at the Justice card, which I'll talk about now anyway, she's right in between these two pillars. One's on one side, one's on the other side. This is a very, very balanced card. It's the opposite of the other one, of the Six of Pentacles. But yeah, two things on different sides, two scenarios. And the first situation I'm seeing is that might be for some of you, is that, you've had some kind of money loss, I think. And it looks like it's because of a job situation or something like that. And obviously a lot of people are going through things like this right now. A lot of people are collecting money while they're at home. A lot of people aren't. Very sad situation. There's a lot of mess. Some people are getting this, some people aren't. Some people are having unfair things happen to them. Lots and lots of mess. So what I'm seeing here is there's lost money. If this is about you, there's lost money here. It feels like it's owed to you. It feels like you should have this money. So if that's you, pursue this. Look into this at least, because I'm seeing a reward at the end of all this. So it's really, really worth looking into that. So that's what I'm seeing if it's to do with a job. Now, the other thing I'm getting is if you've lost money because of this love connection that I'm getting here in the Six of Pentacles. If that's you, maybe they owe you money. Maybe you lent the money, I'm trying to say. Maybe you lent the money. Maybe you gave the money. Maybe they took some money for something and they said, oh, I'll give it back to you. And they didn't do that. Something like that. Now, if that's the case, I'm getting I'm getting this feeling of dragging you back, dragging you down, very, very heavy. That's what it feels like. Very emotional, not good. I've got to say, it's not a good feeling. Now, obviously, if you want to go after this with this axe, you can. Of course you can. You do whatever you like. My feeling around this is it might not be worth it. That's what I'm getting. Obviously, make your own decision here. I'm just telling you that this is what I'm getting. It feels difficult. It feels exhausting. It feels like you're being dragged down if you go through this. So just think about this carefully. Think about whether it's worth it or not. Because, again, I'm getting all this tiredness around you as well. And you don't want to be even more tired and exhausted. And so, yeah, that's just what I'm getting around that card. So the last card you have your past is the Nine of Cups. Yeah, I think what this is telling you is, again, another one. You're better off moving forwards. You're better off moving forwards, especially if they're kind of smug and controlling and all that. You're better off getting right away from all that. It's a bad energy. It's a very difficult, very heavy, very awful energy. I was really feeling that looking at the Justice card. Very, very awful. And of course, people who do the wrong thing, of course they deserve justice. Of course they do. I totally agree with that. But from everything I'm seeing here, for me personally, it wouldn't be worth it for me personally. So you've just got to weigh that up yourself, which is what the Justice card's about as well. And look at this man on the Nine of Cups. He looks really smug as well. Both of these men are really smug men. So yeah, that's an indication of, do you want to go back to that? Do you want to go back to all that again? And the other thing about this card is it's the wish card. All the things you wish for, they're not in the past, they're in the future. They're in the future. They're in front of you. You know, look in the front of you. Literally look at front of you. Look at what's in your present. You've got the Sun card. You've got Temperance. Lots of positive things here. You've got the Seven of Pentacles. Positivity. So it's time to move forward. It's time to move forward. That's what all these cards are saying to you. Yeah, lots and lots of messages telling you that. Now, yeah, if you're single, there's definitely love coming up ahead of you. I can see that. There is some love coming up. I'll tell you when I get to that, but I'm looking across at the Sun card, and I can see some love there, and the Page of Cups. But what this card can be telling you is, if you look at this man, he's all by himself, and he's very content. So this card can mean sometimes be content within yourself before you move forward to anyone else. And I think that's what you need to do. And because it feels like you lost yourself, when you're forced into this kind of third party thing, if that's you, you lost yourself, because one minute they were there, one minute they weren't there. And the thing is, all the focus was on them. Oh, where are they? What are they doing? Who are they talking to? It's time to put the focus on you. It's time for you to put the focus back on you. And they had two people wandering about them. That's double the attention. They had doubled the attention of people going, oh, where are they? And you didn't have anyone. You really didn't. And now it's time for you to focus on you. So that's what this card's telling you. Okay. So the first card you have your present is the Hermit. Yeah, so this is all turning into, this whole reading's turning into do the inner work, work on yourself, spiritual work, all that kind of thing. And as a Cancer, you're used to that. You know all about that. You're a very deep person, very, very deep. So, okay, so I'm getting this need for you to, you're probably already doing this. You might be doing this. I hope you are. Shutting things off, turning off things like social media, things in the news, not wanting to hear what certain people are saying. With everything happening around us, it just feels like, it might be hitting you a lot harder than a lot of other people. I'm just getting that. Very emotional. You can be quite emotional. You're affected by a lot of that kind of thing. You're affected by that. And I am too. I feel that too. And I think, again, similar to what I was seeing in the Six of Pentacles, but this is about this situation that's around us all right now. Sometimes you're fine and you go along and you're, oh, I feel fine actually. And then there's this, your emotion will go back down again. So, yeah, I feel as if I have to protect you as well. So if you're not switching a lot of things off right now, make sure you do that. Because it feels like, oh, it's too much. It's just too much. I need a break. It's all overwhelming. I can't. And I think for you, the words about what's happening in the world, the energy, everyone talking about it, everyone feeling it, it feels worse than it actually, than the actual thing. It's not like you're worrying about catching the thing. It's more like you're worrying about all the horrible energy. That's more. It's harder for you to deal with. So, do you know what I'm getting? I'm getting this. Oh, I want to escape, but there's no escape. I want to escape, but there's no escape. I used to escape here. I used to do this. Maybe it was like, oh, I used to look on my phone at YouTube videos, and now they're all about this thing. And it's like, oh, I used to be able to go out and do this. Now I can't. I used to be able to go to this restaurant. Now I can't. I used to be able to see this person. I used to be able to go here. All the escape hatches you used to do when you felt like this, they're not open to you anymore. So you're really, 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 really feeling this if this is you. So yeah, turn off as much as you can. Turn off as much as you can. Don't let this bombard you. And maybe, make some playlists of your own, of things that are better for you, things that make you feel better. Because if you look at this Hermit, he's got this pinpoint focus with this lantern, and he's completely ignoring everything outside of that. And that's what this is reminding you to do. Put your own thoughts in your head. Put your own music in there. Put your own words in there. Or things that you accept, not other people's, yours. And with the Temperance card, I may as well talk about that now. It's about healing. It's about feeling your own feelings. You know, there are so many people and things that try and tell us how to feel, what to think, what to do. And but we can't acknowledge our own emotions. We can't work through our own emotions if we're feeling other people's emotions and we're hearing other people's words. I don't mean cut everyone off altogether. Of course, I don't mean that. But cut off the things when you start getting that feeling of, oh no, when you start getting that feeling of, oh, I'm really upset, when you start getting that feeling of, it's just too much, I need to escape this, that's when you've got to turn this off. Listen to yourself, listen to what's inside yourself. That's what this Hermit's about as well. And also the Temperance card is about that as well. Okay, right, something else here. Okay, I'm just getting this, it feels like independence. It feels like, right, I'm going to be independent. I'm going to do this all of a sudden. It's like a snap thing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Someone had made a very quick decision, and they wanted to be independent. I'm seeing that. Yeah, someone wanted to be away from you. They wanted to be away from you. It's not this axe. It's not the same axe I'm seeing here. This is someone completely different. Now, it does feel like there's love here. It really, really does. And passion as well, or there was at one time. Now, I'm not sure whether this is romantic love or platonic love. There is some romantic love there because there's passion here. So it might be a little bit of both. It might be that you're friends and then you were lovers, or maybe it went backwards and forwards. Might be that. Yeah, again, snap decisions, being spontaneous. I'm getting that here. I don't know if you had an argument with someone, but there's definitely a separation. Maybe you tried to reach out to them because I'm getting this wall between you, this big wall, and you're kind of knocking against the wall and you couldn't get in, and so you turned back again. That's kind of what I'm getting. The wall's going to be removed. The wall's going to be removed. I really think that's going to happen. Yeah, look at these cups of water. You're going to start coming together. You're going to start blending again. And this card's about healing, working through things. So I think they're going to remove this wall, this block. Yeah, it's going to be them. It's going to be them. They're going to do this, not you. And look at the Sun card. I may as well talk about everything here. So, yeah, here's this wall. Here's this wall. And the child's breaking through the wall. So if you know who this is, it's going to happen. It's going to happen really quickly. Yeah, expect some communication coming in from whoever this is, if you know who this is. Now, okay, I have to say this. I don't want to make things negative. I really don't. And obviously this is a really happy time. It's a breakthrough, big, big relief here. This is the Sun. It's all happy. But, okay, how do I say this? Yeah, they're really spontaneous. They're really spontaneous. And I'm getting this big range of emotions around them. You know, so they go through all these emotions really quickly. Happiness, like this child, anger, they can be a little bit sensitive, I think, as well. And maybe that's why you fell out. Maybe they were sensitive, maybe you argued, I don't know. And they just said, right, that's it, I'm walking off. That's the kind of thing I'm getting. And they love quickly as well. They come in quickly, so that's what's going to happen. So, yeah, you'll grow back together if this is you. But there are a few more ups and downs in front of you with them, I think. Lots of ups and downs, that's what I'm getting with them. Lots of feelings, lots of emotions, spontaneous. Maybe they're a bit childlike as well with this child here. So just be aware of that. I mean, obviously it's positive for both of you with the Sun card, but go forward with a bit of caution in your mind, you know, especially if you're still dealing with, you know, working through this healing process, which I keep on seeing all over this reading. Going into yourself, healing. You don't want to jump into something if that's happening, especially if they're kind of a bit all over the place, which is kind of the feeling I'm getting. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Okay, so the first card you have for your future is the Page of Cups. See, childlike energy. Here it is again. You know, pages are students, teenagers, and obviously cups are about messages. So another really strong message. It's coming in. You can see that again. So when I get it twice, 3 times in a reading, it's definitely happening. Okay. I'm getting speaking up, having to say something. Speaking clearly, clarity. Yeah, I'm getting family. So it might be about your family. It feels really calm, actually. It's speaking up, but it's calm. That's what I'm getting. So yeah, it looks like something needs to be said. Something needs to be said. And it looks like you're going to say something to someone. There's a lot of old emotion between you and this person, but it's all in the past. It's a little bit like water under the bridge. Maybe you fought when you were children, might be a sibling, might be a cousin. Water under the bridge, because if you look at this page, he's got all this water behind him. It feels like a little bit of an awkward conversation, but yeah, it has to be said. Whatever this is has to be said, and it feels like you're saying, I have to say this, I have to say this, it has to come out, they have to know this. They have to realise something. They have to realise this, that's what I'm getting. They need to realise this, I need to tell them this. So yeah, you're definitely going to come out and say this if this is you, if you know what this situation's about. And you're going to be very fair, you're going to be sensitive with this person. You're not going to jump in and say rude things to them or anything like that. But I think with them, no matter how you word this, no matter what you say, they're not going to be very happy. They're not going to take this very well. And I think that's part of the problem. They don't listen. They're not self-aware. When people tell them things, they don't listen. They're very headstrong. So yeah, it might not look like it's sinking in when you first tell them, but they might stop talking to you. So just be aware of that. They might stop talking to you. Because if you look at the Four of Swords and you look at that man, that statue, obviously he's retreated into himself. He's all by himself. He's got something on his mind. He's got all these swords over his head. But he wants to be by himself. He's not speaking to anyone. So, I think they'll eventually come around to your way of thinking, because the Four of Swords can be about coming to a revelation, realizing something. It can be about enlightenment. So they might realize this, and I think they will eventually. But I don't think they're going to tell you. I don't think they're going to thank you. I think they'll just keep this to themselves. There might be a possibility that they don't talk to you again. Might be that serious. Or they might come around to it eventually. So there are two possibilities there. They've got to learn. They've got to learn. Pages as students, once again. So, it's going to take time for them to learn. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so I'll just go on to the last card, which is the Seven of Pentacles. And I'll lift it up so you can see the whole card. So, with this person who's coming back to you, this really spontaneous person, okay, so yeah, there's love here. There's love here. There's definitely love here. Now, you're going to be seeing things quite differently from the way they see things when they come back to you. This is what I'm getting. You're both going to have completely different views here on what this is about or how you feel. Now, obviously, this can be about looking back over things, looking back over your emotions, assessing everything. And for them, it looks like they're going to want to show you that you can have a future with them. See, you can have a future with me. I want to grow with you. Look at all this growth. I want to grow with you. See, I can do this. I can do this. I want to grow with you. I can build up a future with you. And, they were coming up in the Sun card. So definitely enjoy this time with them. Enjoy that beautiful feeling of being with this person again and getting to know them all over again. But keep on assessing the situation. Keep on assessing the situation. I keep on feeling the need to give you caution here, because there was a time when they left and it happened quickly. Just keep that in mind. That doesn't mean they're going to do it again. It doesn't mean they're necessarily going to do it again, but there's no world card here. If the world was here, I'd probably say something different. But yeah, caution, steadiness, and if they really want to be with you, if they really want to grow with you, they'll understand that. They'll understand that. So maybe that's a thing to see, to watch out for, to see if they understand where you're coming from or not.